Welcome to the Laughs in the Dark podcast. Spooky you.
Welcome back to Laughs in the Dark podcast, and today we are reading I Ordered Sunlight off the internet. It was great until my wife started acting funny. This is on the No Sleep subreddit, and it is by user Roos85, posted 179 days ago. Okay. Reflect Orbita was a new groundbreaking tech company that sold daylight during the night. Go ahead and Google it and see for yourselves. They aim to reflect the sun's rays over solar panels down here on Earth's surface well after it had gone dark to maximize the sun's energy output. At first, it sounded like something out of a sci-fi movie, but my jaw dropped when I Googled their website and everything about them seemed legit. Ordering sunlight was as simple as ordering an Uber. I typed in my exact coordinates, and like magic, everything lit up around me. I was even more amazed when I looked up and above me was a ball of shining light in the night sky. The Reflect Orbital app also came with a cool feature that allowed you to run your finger over a map of your location, allowing you to move the light around.
That seems like you could fuck with your neighbors a little bit.
I feel like you probably are fucking with your neighbors. Like, you can't
Oh, that's you.
and have close neighbors.
As I'd be.
Like, imagine if our neighbors next door just decided they wanted to have sunlight all the time. We'd be fucked.
Bro.
I call them cops. I call John Wick.
How much the fuck does that cost anyway?
It ain't for poor people.
What I'm saying.
It
Right.
ain't for poor people.
So, if you're calling the cops on them, they're rich. They'll get out of it.
That's true.
Fuck that. I'd move away immediately.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, and imagine all these aunties will get in it.
I feel like that would be grounds to break a lease, though. It's true. That would definitely be grounds to break our.
I don't take the people who are buying that for renters.
That's true. But I'm saying in our situation, if we were to, the bar and they wouldn't have an issue.
Yeah, that's true. But imagine if that like became mainstream market. If you talking about light pollution now,
It'll
say goodbye to nocturnal animals.
say goodbye to night as a whole. I lived on a farm in a rural part of the country, which lacked the orange glow of artificial light that lit up city streets. The only benefit of it being pitch black was seeing the stars in all their amazing glory on a clear night. Having acres of space meant I had room for solar panels, which is great during the summer, but in the winter, when the days are short and gloomy, solar panels aren't worth shit. So having the ability to have bright natural light beamed from space seemed almost too good to be true. I wasn't expecting much, but I was more than surprised when the energy output of the solar panels was twice what I would get after a week's worth of natural light. It was as if they were juiced up with steroids, giving me enough energy to get us through 2 weeks of winter nights. "Steven, come quick, you need to see this," my wife called, her voice beckoning me from the fields. My wife Susan stood in the cornfield, pointing to the sprouts of green poking through the freshly sowed cornfield. "Should they be sprouting this quickly?" asked my wife in a bewildered tone. I was as puzzled as she was. I had only sowed the field 2 days ago, and already the field was awash with green. I had a feeling the light I had beamed down from space had something to do with the miraculous growth of the corn, so I figured another night of sunshine wouldn't hurt. I used the app to focus the light on the field. As it basked in the warm rays of the light, my wife's eyes fixated on the orange glow from the ball of light in the sky. She seemed mesmerized by how the intensity of its warmth and lost in its heavenly glow. "Are you still with us?" I asked jokingly. As she stood there in silence staring at the sky, I noticed something strange. A shadow, her body cast, seemed to twist and morph into grotesque shapes, whereas I didn't seem to cast any shadow at all. The next morning, when I went to check on the fields, I couldn't believe my eyes. The corn stood 12 feet high from seed to harvest in just over 2 days. Could you imagine?
Imagine the radiation coming off of that.
Okay, that's probably what Monsanto's doing. They probably got an artificial sun in their factories. I'm sure it's probably just as powerful as whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, could be. I just, I feel like I would be a little bit more alarmed, like if you were staring up at whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like you shouldn't be able to stare at it. It's supposed to be a sun.
yeah, but let's just say you were,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And the word grotesque shapes really is more alarming to me than just, oh yeah, I was twisting into grotesque shapes. I didn't have to show.
Right. Where's the sense of urgency here? Shadow shape will move. Unless she's moving in grotesque shapes, the shadow should not be moving in grotesque shapes. You should be a little alarmed, absolutely.
And he's just enthralled with the shadow, and so he didn't notice his wife is tilting it.
Excited about all his money he's gonna make from his corn in 2 days.
Yeah, that's what he told the wife. No,
Fuck the wife. We're gonna have a new wife in 6 months when we're millionaires.
but you're gonna want to have to take care of her right now, though, because you don't want her popping up like that corn.
That's true.
So if it's already doing the grotesque shapes shit, then yeah, you're gonna want to deal with that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Do a cull, if you will.
What are the shadows doing?
We don't want to find that out, so we got to get rid of the source.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Get rid of the source and then sell your corn.
Can you imagine your shadow has a whole different life?
Yeah, it's like Peter Pan.
I hate it. My delight was soon shattered by the sight of the corn. The ears that held the yellow kernels were deformed, even monstrous, and didn't look like your average corn on the cobs. I pulled one off the stalk and bit into it. The pigeon.
Okay, I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
But you notice that the corn is fucked up.
Yes.
Deformed, disgusting, whatever. You take it off. You chuck it right there on the field. Strings and all. You just bite into the raw corn.
Yeah.
And it sounded like he was about to say that it tasted horrible.
Correct.
One, you should have known. And two, why are you biting into a raw corn cob?
I mean, he's a corn farmer. He's probably
That's why
he probably has done that for years.
I prefaced with that I'm not a farmer.
True, I'm also not a farmer. I don't.
So maybe that's common practice.
Are just out here eating the raw corn.
Good. It could be a test. It could be like we're going to do all the test.
Yes,
Yeah.
quality test.
So disclaimer there, but I feel like he already had some signs that he shouldn't be biting into it. Maybe smell it, smell test. Okay, well, go on then.
The putrid taste assaulted my senses, causing me to throw up.
He got to that point. And also, to get you to throw up. Putrid. Putrid, right. I would think you'd spit, like, ugh, disgusting, whatever. But to throw up after?
To have had the will to swallow it enough to get it. Yeah, no.
And again, okay, if you didn't swallow it, it assaulted your senses.
That much.
You should have been able to smell it.
It has to smell bad. It already assaulted your eyes. It's assaulted your taste buds. It has to assault your nose.
Right. So the fact that you bit into it is kind of low-key your fault, especially since you're a farmer and you do this shit. If you were a 2-year-old, sure.
Sometimes you just gotta try things.
You just think your wife's shadow is normal too, huh? You want to test that thing out?
We'll get around to that mystery.
Oh, I know we will. Oh, I know we will. Say goodbye to your wife.
But also, I have a question. This feels sketchy.
I returned that shit and he
Totally turned that shit immediately.
yeah, he should have. I don't even had a warranty.
Exactly, because if it's our actual son don't do shit like that. So
I'm jealous. It was the radiation. Has to be the radiation.
they're adding some type of radiation.
No, you know what I think it is? This is my theory.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to be the case, but this makes sense to me.
Okay.
So I think what it is that you got this little ball of sun. However, we have an atmosphere, and it filters out a lot of the UV rays, and it filters out 100% of the UVC rays. And those are the most damaging to your DNA.
Yeah.
So I bet you that shit is just blasting his whole area of T organic material, and that UVC is just
wreaking havoc.
Now I can't explain the accelerated growth, but that makes sense. That's where I'm gonna say the malformations are coming in.
Sound to me. The whole field of corn was affected. Nothing could be salvaged, meaning I would have to start over again. I spent the night tossing and turning, and when I finally drifted off, I was suddenly jolted from my sleep to find my wife's side of the bed empty. My phone was missing, and a bright light seeped through the cracks of the curtains. I went to the window and pulled back the curtains. It was 3 a.m., and it was as bright as a summer's day. My eyes were drawn to the edge of the cornfield where my wife was standing with her arms held high as if she were at Sunday Mass. "Susan, what are you doing out here?" I asked. She was too transfixed in the light to even notice me. It was like I didn't even exist. Suddenly her face turned to mine. Her eyes were black and her face twisted.
No.
"Can you hear it? It's calling me," she said with a hollow voice before running off and disappearing into the cornfield. Honestly, let her.
That is a problem solved.
Let nature take her.
Yeah, that took care of itself.
Yeah, and literally, right? Go in the house, order a new phone.
Yeah.
I would call in people, and cancel your service.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say maybe report that as a bug. Really, I'd be like, there is a wild one out there. So
Absolutely.
or you guys have like a hazmat team that deals with the cleanup on that, but she's out there. So.
All right, there should be some type of warranty on this shit. There better be. That class action is gonna be cool. Yeah.
And also I was a little confused because like I thought he was kind of keeping this shit on 24 hours a day.
Same.
But now he's like, oh, it's so bright.
I don't think that he was keeping it on 24 hours a day. I think he got it the first day, and then after he noticed the little sprout in the cornfield, then he was like, "Oh well, let's keep it on for another night. It's fine." But then after the corn was broke, I guess he was finally like, "Fuck this shit.
I'll turn it off."
And yeah, tried to turn it off, but the wife was already.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, correct.
It was already calling her,
and I would be like, "No, bitch, I can't hear it."
I tried following her, but she moved fast like a wild animal. Eventually, I ran out of steam and was too tired to keep up, but she just kept running as if she had an abundance of energy. After a long day of searching for her, I headed back to the house before it got dark. I prayed she saw sense and she would be back home waiting for me.
Hang on. Sense. He's still thinking she's just normal. She's just, she got caught up in the sun.
Yeah,
She's sense. Her eyes were black. What do you think?
Yeah.
And her face is all twisted. She'll come to her senses.
Yeah.
She's probably just on her period.
She's probably just PMSing. Don't worry about her.
Pray.
She gets crazy.
I would pray that she doesn't come back.
Absolutely.
What is wrong with her?
If she comes back, you should be scared.
I would lock all the doors.
Whatever comes back, because it won't be Susan. Susan's not coming.
I'll keep rocks.
But whatever comes back will not be Susan.
I'm keeping rocks by the window in case I see her ass.
There you go. Stone her from the upstairs.
Yeah, that's what they plan on doing. Give her a shotgun.
Exactly. When I made it back, the house was empty. My wife was my world. We had no kids, so all we had was each other. Knowing she was out there alone was killing me. Too restless to sleep, I sat on the back porch, hoping she would find her way back. I wanted my face to be the first one she saw, so she knew she wasn't lost. Hold on. So y'all got the tech to have artificial sun that you can move around and activate on your smartphone. Why haven't we called anybody to search for her? We're worried sick about her, but not enough to gather, at least, I'm not even saying call the police. Gather a search party of your nearest neighbors and friends. Like, hey, Susan's missing. I need your help finding her.
I feel like he lives like 20 miles from any other house. I bet you he's never spoken to a neighbor. He's got miles upon miles of corn. Like just as far as the eye can see, and corn. So I imagine that's. I mean, yeah, I know he said you ran into the woods. Sure, put some woods on the border. But yeah, I feel like he.
Oh, probably yes. You know, eventually you should have a fence of some kind.
Yeah, like I see what you're saying. Like call some people. I don't think he has people. And if you're that rural, I don't know how you feel about the cops. You know, authoritarianism and all that, and don't tread on me and shit. So, yeah, I get that. You know, the gun loving. Yeah, that's the government get out of here.
Yeah, I get that. That's fair. So then you don't love your wife then?
Him and his wife against the world. Yeah, I think that's his motto. They live in a literal bubble.
Literal bubble. Yeah, just them two. No anybody else.
That begs the question: is if he. Now we're just getting nitpicky here, but I'm just curious about this subscription. If you have miles upon miles of corn, do you have to pay extra for a larger radius?
Probably.
Yeah, I want to see that subscription plan.
Probably. But I'm sure, like, most subscription plans, it's got, like, a trial or something. So you probably just started with, like, an area.
No, they don't have a trial. They don't do a trial. Nah, because if this shit's malforming your stuff immediately, they want you locked in.
That's true. They want you locked in immediately because I would have canceled my trial one day, too.
Yeah, they would have no customers.
That's true. That's true.
Unless you got, like, a really janky one.
Yeah.
That's a lawsuit.
Or maybe he was like, you know, let's just start small, you know, we get a little bit of market, then maybe covers like maybe a third or a fourth of the land.
I hope he did.
Because he said it's dark where he is, where his house is, but his wife is obsessed with the sun and she got the phone. So who knows where the light is?
Right out in the middle, you could probably see. It looks like a UFO, but it's actually just her turning the sun on.
As I sat there looking out into the darkness of the fields, I noticed the faint sound of wrestling that grew louder as it got closer. I stood there trembling as a group of glowing red eyes appeared from the darkness. The glowing seemed to surround the house as if moving in for an attack. At first, I thought it was wild animals, so I played
wild animals.
Yeah,
with glowing red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Did he grow up in Snow White?
Maybe. It doesn't say where the setting is. It's rural.
You are a rural farmer. Have you ever seen animals in the woods staring down your house with red glowing eyes in the woods? I want to know what kind of woods this guy has, because it sounds like he might have other problems on top of this.
The sun thing isn't the only issue.
It's not.
Maybe the sun just activated 11 issues.
But I'm saying with him being like, looks like animals. Sounds like you already had problems.
Yeah.
Maybe his haunted woodland problems have tainted his sun purchase.
Probably.
Maybe that'll write off any lawsuits. They're like, you already had Jim Jack Georgia one.
So we tried to add our shit in there and make it better. It didn't make it better. Look, that's on you. That's consumer risk at all.
Yeah, you should have dealt with your problems before you
started the service. If you weren't ready for the service, don't get the service.
Right. It's like if you didn't have like your insulation was torn out and you had like bees in it, and then you had some guy come in and try to do your electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of my wires shorted. Well, you have mice living in the wall.
Yes, sir.
You have bees next to them. It's the electrical. Yeah, I'm suing you for my shortage. Yeah. Wow. Crazy.
At first, I thought it was wild animals, so I flicked on the floodlights, hoping it would spook them. The creatures were startled for a moment, but they kept on coming. Leading the group was my wife, but not as I knew her. The light seemed to have affected more than just my wife. People I once called friends, along with other people from the town, had transformed into terrifying creatures.
Okay.
He did have friends.
Yeah, now I see what I had
to call those friends, I don't know, but there were her already, so I guess it don't matter.
But like my thing is like I'm just reeling because the entire town. Okay, so you must live somewhat close. Okay, you're not 20 miles out anymore, but you are a menace. You have destroyed. It is. Why you're not infected is a problem already. Like, that makes you kind of a menace.
Yeah.
Already. Because every organic thing around you is affected by this. But you're like, oh, I bought it. And infected the whole town. He also, to your point, I don't get into a small spot.
I don't think necessarily that he was the only one in the town who was doing this.
That's good.
You know, because he said that what did he say in the beginning? He said something about hearing about it or something of that nature. Sounded like a sci-fi movie, and I had to research it, and it seemed legit. Like, clearly somebody's advertising this service somewhere. I doubt he's the only person.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking that he'd heard about it, like, on the internet or something. So maybe, yeah, if it's from the other townsfolk, then I'll give it to him.
Maybe. It could definitely be from the other townsfolk.
Let's hope.
Listen, let us hope, because otherwise, you are always in this whole fucking town, yeah.
And then we have to have another talk about why you're immune.
What is wrong with you?
Like, and turn it off. Like, and also take your wife's phone. If she has control over the sun and her eyes are black, that's when you snatch that shit out of her hand. Okay, you're done.
I guess he couldn't get to her in time.
You're done. You know what? I would have called that company immediately. Hey, my product has been stolen. My crazy-ass wife has control of my son, and she's now in the woods. Could you deactivate my account? Please. Disable it just for the... It was like when you lose a debit card. You just lock my car, please. I'd bind it again.
Before I knew it, I was surrounded with nowhere to go. I backed cautiously into the house and barricaded the door, hoping to buy myself some time before my inevitable death. As I looked around the house looking for something to protect myself, I came across my phone. My only hope was giving them what they wanted, so I opened the Reflect Orbital app and pressed on my coordinates. The night lit up and everything went silent. I looked out the window and the creatures had stopped dead in their tracks. They were now fixated on the ball of light in the sky. They stood just like my wife before, with their hands held up to the heavens. I wasn't sure if the police were the right people to call, so I rang the number on the Reflect Orbital app.
Yeah, you should have been done that, dude. The moment her eyes were black, the moment your corn was fucked up,
Honest.
the moment her shadows became a grotesque moving thing, I'd be like, hey, does it cast weird shadows? Because I don't have a shadow.
Right.
And this shit ain't right.
And it didn't say nothing about this in the FAQ page. It does nothing in the manual. I don't see anything about it on the app.
I need some troubleshooting.
Please help me troubleshoot this.
But yeah, no, you're right. The cops are not at this point who to call.
At this point, this is about the cops.
Yeah, you waited way too long. And also, I want to know what these creatures are. Creatures? Are they like demogorgons, you think?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
The townsfolk had transformed into terrifying creatures. They were once people, so they kind of resemble people, but they're also fucked up.
Oh, kind of like how his wife was all fucked up in the face. Mm-hmm. They should be dead, but we're not going to talk about that part.
They're working on it.
Yeah, I would keep that shit on, though. You know what I would do with that orb? I would do, like, this staring at it, I would just slowly move it away. Just ever so. And if they started to kind of, like, come back and, like,
you should contact the company, say I want to change my location to just a totally different location and put it in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, except you can't do that because he said that before he turned it on, they were, like, coming for him.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to slowly get it away.
That's fine.
Just tell him you're doing, like, some aquaculture type stuff. And be like, yeah, I'm branching out to the Pacific, so if I could just get that,
testing out a business, I need more sunlight. This specific kind of
doing algae collection.
I need to reefs.
And then I would call him back after it was on the Pacific and I was safe and whatever, and I'd be like, so I'm gonna need you to reimburse me for my corn.
I'm not calling him, I'm calling a lawyer. We suing the fuck out of them. I'm suing them for pain and suffering. And then my wife is dead, right? If she had a job, I'm suing you for whatever earning potential or whatever half of the bill she paid.
I can't make that case, though, because you sent her to the Pacific. I'm telling you how corporations are gonna do it, okay? And they're gonna say that you killed her by sending her to the Pacific. So you gotta still make that claim before her.
Right, and I can admit that I did kill her by putting her into the Pacific, right? But if I had never gotten your product, she would have never got fucked up to the point where I felt like I had to do that. My pain and suffering is worth something here. Okay, and you also pay me for my corn, and you better hope some corn can be grown on that land next year. Because if not, you're gonna be paying me every year for my corn because it's my business, it's my livelihood.
Mm-hmm. Your business is done for unless you can sell that land and bullshit people so they don't know that it's barren.
Yeah. Or build something on it to make it worth being on.
A hotel, yeah, something inorganic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then just don't put the sun there. Yeah.
Ever.
And hopefully it's not like Chernobyl and just radiating.
Oh, please. Then everything's...
Then you are, again, a menace.
You are a menace. Now we can never use that plot of land again. For anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I get it's the company's fault, but also...
It is absolutely the company's fault.
Sun responsibly.
But consumers also have a responsibility. Yes.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
With his cornfields.
After I explained my predicament, within an hour, a fleet of reflect orbital vans and trucks descended on the farm and began rounding up all the creatures with my wife. A guy in a suit approached me and introduced himself as a representative for the company. "What the hell is going on here?" I demanded. The representative pulled out a stack of papers. Being a new company, we had some unforeseen consequences. The reflectors on our satellites reflect more than just the sun's energy. What does that even mean? I asked as the anger in me began to boil over. Apparently, our reflectors reflect light from other parts of the universe, places we know nothing about. What about my wife? I asked. Your wife will be fine in about a month or two. We will get her back to you after you sign these NDAs. To get my wife back, I would need to sign my soul away, so I signed whatever he wanted me to. Before he left, I had one more question. Why wasn't I affected by the light?
Right.
The representative shot me an empathetic look. In our studies, we noted people with cancer weren't affected. We don't know why it happens, but you should go get it looked at. At least you will catch it early.
Wow.
That was the last thing I was expecting.
That
shouldn't
be funny, but that is
crazy.
Just the irony of the sun. It doesn't affect you. You had cancer.
Hey, you're fucked either way.
But that company is so fucked.
Yeah.
I get that they're having people sign NDAs,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't understand the profit margin here because people are only going to use this for about 4 days.
Literally.
And before they're calling you in all your vans and your SWAT.
Exactly. And that shit costs money. And then you gotta house these people and do shit to them for however the fuck long to get them back to normal. Like, that's not a good business. It's like not a good business model. I'm sure y'all are hemorrhaging money.
This has to be like a government op.
Elon's probably behind it.
Probably is.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, he probably legitimately would think it's a good business idea. Yeah, it's working great. How's Twitter going for you?
Right.
That was a plot twist.
I was not expecting that. At least you can catch it early.
Some cancers are pretty far along and you don't know they're there. So that will be unfortunate. That's what I kind of gleaned from that. But yeah, like there's different cancers that can be quite far along.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's pretty presumptuous in saying, you caught it early, or you'll catch it early. That's a big guarantee because when I come back and I'm terminally ill, I can't technically blame you because I already had it, but
Yeah.
I could have a
I
month.
think you brought it to your attention. But hey, at least now you know you got a month to live.
No, because I could have a month to live and my wife won't be back for 2 months.
Yeah, so he just should have left you there thinking that you're going to live till your wife gets back and then you die before she returns.
I can still be pissed with the company that that's my outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's that guy's fault necessarily that are letting me know, but like this is a super shitty situation. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, lawsuits.
Because with this guy's luck, I don't feel that it's early. I don't see him. He seems like a nice enough guy.
And don't sign them fucking NDAs.
I don't be read it so that he could actually see if they're getting his wife back in 2 months. Like, well, after that, not even be in the paperwork.
Absolutely not.
They're like, oh, yeah.
And then it's also in the paperwork that you cancel this, so.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. Well, it doesn't actually mention my wife at all. Well, it's in the fine print. No, I looked at the fine print. Yeah, you would need a microscope for it. We don't have that right now. Just trust us.
Oh.
Yeah, just it's on there.
You don't have a microscope on you right now if it's requiring to read that part of the contract?
I mean, your eyesight sucks. So it's not my problem.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a microscope in the house. Give me just a moment. I'll go take a look. I'll be right back.
Sir, we have places to be.
You're not gonna bug me.
You know, they come up with some other bullshit.
No, absolutely.
It'd be like, oh, well, the ink is invisible under your microscope.
Exactly.
It's a certain...
That's it. I know, sign it in the next 10 seconds. It's gonna explode in your
Yeah,
hands.
it's actually disappearing ink. If you don't sign it, it disappears. So if you want your wife back, you'll sign it.
You'll sign it.
And have your questions later.
And ask questions never. Don't ever ask us a single question. In fact, it says in the NDA you're not allowed to ask questions.
Right.
Yeah, we need you to sign it right now. Come on, time's running out. We only got about 15 seconds before we gotta let your wife come over here and murder you.
Say what?
Yeah, we're gonna turn on your service and just let her loose at you.
Can you not? I already have cancer. You really gonna do that to a guy with cancer?
Can you sign the NDAs?
No.
Well, Mr. Johnson, it was nice doing business with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day/life. And,
well, I'm dead anyway.
thank you for being a orbital customer.
He'd probably hold his arms open for his wife's. Come on. I know you're in there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you're gonna die either way.
Being ripped apart. I don't think he would undergo chemo, so it's just dying slowly.
You think that was in the fine print of the website at least? Like, when he went to go buy it?
No.
Side effects may include blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, maybe that part. Probably not the part of won't affect you if you have cancer.
Probably not. I'm sure that part of probably wasn't in there.
Mm-mm. But yeah, maybe the other stuff possibly may summon demon spawn to you.
So you gotta listen to the side effects on those commercials.
Yeah. I don't think he saw the commercials, though. He said we were doing word of mouth.
He wouldn't research it. He looked up. He should have saw something.
He definitely heard this from word of mouth, so whom is telling him that this is such a grand product? Unless he saw it on Facebook.
His friends.
Right, that are now monstrosities. They had it for like 12 hours, and they were like, dude, you had the best thing. This changes so my life.
I've been able to stay up for 24 hours. I've been working so much. I just got a raise last night, and it only took 6 hours.
My wife said she's going to stop cheating on me after she admitted to cheating on me.
Now I have so much more time to spend with my family. I can spend the whole night with them and then actually work and hang with my boys during the day.
The red eyes still is getting me.
Just this?
I think those are deer.
Mm-hmm. Let me turn on the floodlights to spook them.
Oh, damn deer are coming from my corn again.
You don't want that corn. That corn nasty now.
All right.
Dude, you not want that corn. Them crows.
None of them. I wonder if his wife's eyes stayed black or if they... I wonder if they're glow in the dark red at night.
I want to know what type of... I want to know if she got better after rehab. Like, after she came back after 2 months? Were you still the same? Or is she, like, traumatized and fucked up?
I bet she don't even remember it. What do you mean my husband's dead from cancer?
And then you could traumatize her, too. Also, okay, got it. Yeah.
To be fair, that one's not on them. The one thing that's not on them.
Yeah. Nah, you have to go see a doctor more.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. You should go see a doctor. Maybe advise your next husband.
You know what? If I was on that team, I'd be like, well, there is a silver lining. You didn't have to go to a doctor for a checkup, and because you know you don't have cancer. So, clean bill of health for at least a while. You should celebrate being cancer-free.
You should celebrate being cancer-free. Gee, Hunters.
You gotta spin it into a positive.
You gotta put that toxic positivity spin on it. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. Every day from here on out, wake up and be thankful that you don't have cancer.
Yeah. And that you came back from the poisons of Andromeda.
You came back from the torturous manipulation of a greedy corporation.
Oh, nope. Your cars is a company. You're not putting that
You
out.
came back stronger.
It really just don't match or any of that.
You really fought for yourself and fought for your rights.
No, here, you're the agent in this situation. You're giving them the positives that have nothing to do with you, right? Because then if the good thing is you came out of what we caused, ooh, see? Yeah. What we caused was you getting a clean bill of health.
I said that anyway. Sue the fuck off of these people, girl. They done put you through some shit. Okay, you better sue the fuck off these people. Fuck, who needs the farm? Because you're going to be a millionaire, babe. Sue the pants. You want me to come testify for you? I can testify for you. They ain't going to do nothing to me. What are you doing? Fire me?
Right.
So I can go to the press?
Mm-hmm. Well, if I was part of that agency, though, I'd be like, prove it. I'm such a dick.
Yeah.
God, damn it.
And that's basically what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said, I mean, you could sign this NDA, but also who's going to believe you?
Right. What's your word versus ours?
Good luck. You see all of our positive reviews?
Exactly. Who's going to believe a lowly farmer? Right. Ooh, your 1-star review. Okay. We can appeal to Google.
Yeah, y'all kind of believe in UFOs anyways. What, are we kidnapping your cows next? Gaslighting this shit. How about these?
Probing you now.
Maybe we shouldn't work for that corporation. Or corporations of any kind.
I don't love corporations personally, so I'm always be on the side of the people. But,
I get too sucked into the role.
sometimes you have the corporate insight, that just really seeps in.
Exactly. They say power corrupts and all that.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it would be power necessarily to work for that corporation, but, you wouldn't have. Yeah, people get engrossed in their jobs.
They do.
Little management power trip.
Right. Okay. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on our podcast platforms. Leave us a comment down below and let us know what you thought of this story. Do you think he should have tasted the corn? And tell us if you would have tasted the corn. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.